The following movie is rated R.
Welcome back to the R-Rated Podcast. Today's guest is Sarah. And we're going to talk about acting and voiceovers. So where did it all begin for you?
Okay.
Or what age,
So,
I guess?
I think it was that typical, listening to Britney Spears.
Oh my
and
God,
being
yes.
like, I need to be her. I am her. And I was like,
you sing too?
no.
Because,
I mean,
like,
I think I can sing, but I can't sing.
I can't sing, but I'll sing.
Yeah, I'll sing rock songs.
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, I mean, not good, but I remember as a kid, I would write letters to Britney Spears.
Wait, actually?
Yes. No, but literally.
Wait.
I was like, I
what'd they
love
say?
you so much. I was like, you should try out this song I wrote for you. And I would write a song, and my mom would be like,
awesome.
she'd be like, going to the mailman, and she would mail
Would
it. Yes, because obviously as a kid, you don't think, Mom, do you know her address? I just assume your mom knows everything.
No, wait, but that's actually better than like mailing Santa. Like to me, it's like
100%.
Mailing,
Britney Spears.
For me, when I was younger, it might have been like Shakira because I was fucking obsessed with her. Like hips don't lie. Like,
yes, yes.
So I would have probably like been like, if my mom was like, yeah, like
I'm gonna mail this for you.
I would have probably screamed.
But then imagine me patiently waiting every album. I was like, when's my song gonna be on it?
Cookies and milk.
Yes,
for her,
exactly.
Like,
Exactly. A pet snake. I'm like, I know you
Yeah.
like this,
Toxic as fuck.
Yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, so I think obviously then I
Okay.
was, singing a lot
So
or trying
early
to.
on,
I just needed to be in the spotlight.
Right.
I felt like
Yeah.
my friends would come over. I was like, "You guys are going to learn this dance,"
Me
and
too, I would do
I'd be
that
like,
too.
"Mom, get ready for a performance
Would you
in
film
10
it?
minutes."
Oh my God, I would do that.
And
shit
I was
too.
like, "Are you guys ready?" I was like, "Sit on the couch, everybody!" Like my whole family and my brothers would be like, "Here we go again. Sarah's doing that
Always
stupid
like-
shit she always does," and they would sit there like this. My mom would be like,
Wait,
"There's
I
my
actually
star."
love hearing this. So I was like, I used to do that shit too, but like now I don't think I have the confidence level for that. Like now
Oh my
I wouldn't
God.
be like with all my family members, like sit the fuck down,
Yeah.
watch me.
Also, I think it would
On
be
Thanksgiving, like
it would be
imagine.
a little weird, don't you think, to be like, "I made up this dance." Your grandpa's like, "This was a little strange." You're like body rolling, shaking your titties. He's like, "All right, time for
Adopt a
turkey."
snake for the
Yeah,
performance.
exactly.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I don't know if it would pass as an adult now, but that was kind of the thing. My mom always knew I wanted to get into acting and singing or something.
Yeah.
She put me in dance. I was the worst dancer ever. I would just fuck up on stage and stare at the audience and would just keep going.
Basically, you did dance, like tried singing, acting, all of it, and kind
all
of
of it, your mom's like, just go do this,
See
get
what
out your
works.
energy.
Exactly.
It's like for a little boy, they're like, please just
Please.
run outside, come back
Go
when you're
dance.
done. I need a
Yeah.
breather. And then I remember in middle school, I auditioned for
Did you
this
play
show.
or like drama?
It was like the first
Yeah.
show, and I remember, who was it, like Bye Bye Birdie?
You're like,
I
this is it.
I was like, this is it, and I was so nervous.
Make sure you're watching.
It was so bad. I was so bad. It was like, I don't even know what the line was. It was so bad.
Right.
And I remember I got into the chorus and I was like, I'm too good for this. And I was like, sorry, I won't take the role. And I didn't take the role.
Wait,
I was
really?
like, no. And then in high school, I went to a really good performing arts high school.
Okay.
And so I just kind of got into theater there. And
Were you ever like shy or have stage fright, or was it just like no?
no, I
You're
mean,
like, no.
obviously,
What's that?
obviously, you definitely get nervous, or at least I get
Right,
nervous. But I
definitely.
think sometimes it's excitement,
Yeah.
more.
But some people
it's-
also have it more than others. Like you know how some people don't have that like super tingly like fuck or like
yes,
like get sweaty palms. Some people are
Mhm.
just like no.
oh my gosh, are you kidding me? There's been times that right before I've gone on stage, because I had
Yeah.
a lot of leads in high school and
Yeah.
in college.
Yeah.
And there was that pressure that obviously, everyone's coming to see it. The school is coming to see it.
Yeah.
The people who didn't get the role are
Yeah.
coming to see
Literally.
it. They're like, let's go, bitch. Show
Yeah,
me
yeah.
why I didn't get the
Yeah,
role.
you're
And you're
so- oh
like,
my God,
nope,
you're so-
And there would always be that moment. Am I going to forget all the lines?
Yeah.
One time I was Nora in a doll's house.
Uh-huh.
You just basically have to say, I'm not talking to any of my friends, my family for a year, because
Right.
it's just paragraphs and paragraphs of lines. That's just how I literally
think
didn't talk
so.
to anybody. People thought I died. I was like, I was like, I'm memorizing lines. I don't even know my name. I'm memorizing lines. But I remember this one time, it was actually the day my mom came to see the show. It was my senior year.
Okay.
And there's a couple times she's on stage just
Yeah.
by herself,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she's reciting a monologue. She's running around. She's being fucking crazy.
Right.
And she was just like, she's very dramatic. And I literally, the last person that I was in the scene with left the
Yeah,
stage,
yeah.
and it was me.
Yeah.
And I honestly, nothing came out of my mouth. And I was like, And in my brain, I was like, I don't even know what the next scene is. I don't know
So
who's
you
supposed to come on.
blanked
I was like, what do I do? I was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
So I just kind of started talking, and then
Did you make up like?
Oh yeah, I just
Yeah,
started making up that, but
Which is the best way to go about it. Then
It
like,
was. And that
And then,
frantic
like-
energy was actually who she was.
Okay,
so
so
it was
worked.
perfect. And then all of a sudden, I realized as I was speaking,
Yeah.
you know, I'm running around and like fixing trinkets all over the stage. I was like, oh, this is the moment where another
Okay.
person's supposed to knock on the door. And he didn't knock on the door. So it made it 10 times worse. And I was like,
Did he
I
like?
think I hear a knock at the door. And I kept being like, is anybody there? Like I was doing the craziest things.
Yeah.
And this little bitch, he was a freshman.
Why
oh my
did
gosh,
he-
I hope he doesn't
No.
do this. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
He's like crying.
Yeah, he's like, I knew I messed up. She's so upset.
And yeah, she's holding it against
Yeah,
me.
exactly. I hold the grudge. And he literally finally came on stage, and the look I gave him,
You're like,
it
you're
was like I ate his soul with that look.
wait, what was his excuse though? Like, why wasn't he,
He was
there?
in
Why?
the fucking
why did he
dressing
miss his
room
cue?
jerking off or something. I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
But he was obviously just not paying attention.
Right.
It's high school.
You know, he probably
you're-
really didn't care.
Yes,
about the
people were
other
like
thing.
underneath the tables in there writing their name and stuff. It's like no one's actually
He's
focusing.
like, I won the
unfortunately.
tree.
100%. But when it was intermission, I went up to him and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" But
Yeah.
obviously,
In-
high school, like, why did you
Yeah,
do
why
that
did
to
you,
me?
asshole?
Yeah, jerk face.
Yeah.
You know, you jerk face. But yeah, so that was probably one of the scariest moments that I've had.
Scary. Yeah,
That's scary. And then one of the
But the fact that you didn't like let that, ruin your experience and like let it go into like I can never perform again. That's good too. 'Cause
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like something traumatic or like if you feel
Yeah.
embarrassed, that could scare you away.
100%. And that's the thing with theater too, is you never know what's
Yeah.
going to happen,
Yeah.
where good and bad.
Do you
I mean, one
prefer
of
theater versus like film
yes,
TV acting?
100%. The only reason why is because I feel like with theater, you get to live in that character
Yeah.
and breathe that character and have a full arc
Yeah.
all in the same time span.
Like in a 2 hours.
Yes, as opposed
versus
to like
movies,
breaking so much,
Yeah.
getting back into this important scene.
It's
They're like,
next
that.
week we're gonna do this.
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, cry, you just been raped, remember?
Yeah.
And you're like,
You're like,
okay. Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
"Mine?"
You're like, I'm confused.
Yeah.
But
That's
one of the
yeah,
funniest
you know what? I didn't
moments.
think about that, but that's so true because like I've actually heard that a few times now. A couple actor friends are like, I prefer theater acting, and I'm like, huh. But when you put it into that perspective, I'm like, that makes sense.
Mhm.
You know, like,
Yeah.
you can just like really fully immerse. And as like an actor, I feel like that's what you would want to do, not like be like, okay, like I'm doing it today, and then next week I got to get back into it,
Right.
and then in a month we're gonna do the weekend. We're gonna shoot on the weekend. And
Yeah.
it's an overnight, so I'm gonna have to get into character.
Right. You're like planning ahead. You're like, what? It's also, it just feels more gratifying
Yeah.
and fulfilling
Yeah.
when you're in it. It's like,
Mhm.
that is the feeling. That's the passion. That's why I do this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is kind of why I got into voiceover, because I felt like when I came out here, I
Yeah.
moved out here
Yeah,
for
wait,
film
where are you originally from?
from South Florida.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know.
Love
We're
that.
not all crazy. Yeah, I know. Everyone's always like, Florida people are crazy. It's more like northern Florida. people.
Okay.
Yeah, I promise.
I've actually never
Everyone-
been to Florida, so I'm like, I don't know.
I'm from like Fort Lauderdale area,
Cool.
which is
Yeah.
very, in a sense, similar to LA because you know
Yeah.
the beach, the palm
Right.
trees, everything.
I heard it's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. Also, a lot of Jew babies from New York will go down to Boca
Uh-huh.
Raton, and my dad was Jewish, so it's just like the transfer that it's like
Got it.
everybody does. It's just
Yeah.
like they all do it.
They
you
all
know?
do.
They know. They're like, it's time to make a transfer. You know.
How old were you when you moved to LA? Like what age? Like you don't
it
have
was-
to say you actually.
No, it was right after college. So
Okay.
I was 23.
23.
Yeah.
Okay,
I was
cool.
like 22, 23.
Yeah, yeah,
whatever it
that's
was
a good
when I
age.
graduated.
So did you feel like at that age, like I know what the fuck I'm doing, or was it still like I just want to go to LA and like try to live my dream?
I was like, let's go, bitch. I mean, I
Yeah.
had plans to stay with a friend, me and my
Yeah.
friend that we were roommates in college. We were
Right.
staying in the same room,
okay,
right?
got
For
it.
about 4 months until, we could get on our feet. Our friend
Right.
was helping us. That's
Yeah.
on his lease.
Did you
it's
know
like the
Did you
typical-
know anyone here in LA? Like
I knew a
at the
few
time?
people because
Okay.
a lot of people from my college actually moved here for
Okay.
film. So it was
That-
great.
That's great. Yeah, because I was like, when I hear people's story, like I just moved. I was like, alone, like you didn't know
Yeah.
anyone?
You're like,
They're
alone?
Yeah, and I was like, out of state? And they're like, yeah. Or sometimes even like across the world. And I'm like,
I mean, some of the
Oh.
shit though that I think about that I did,
yeah.
it was crazy. The
But like
the
when you're
amount
young,
of
you
bravery.
don't think about it. You're like,
No.
fuck it, that sounds
No,
fun. You know?
yeah, I
And now you're
remember
like, what?
I didn't have my car shipped. I remember going to the grocery store and I was like, my arms are bleeding from like walking blocks because I don't know, Uber didn't really exist
Yeah.
then,
No,
like
if
7
Uber
years ago.
existed while I was in high school, It would have been amazing.
It would have been
I can't even
amazing, but
fucking
also a
imagine
nightmare. Like, it'd be
Yeah,
like,
true.
Mom, I need money again, for my Uber. She'd be like, walk to
Oh,
school,
yeah.
you lazy bitch.
Literally. Oh, okay, so you're 23. You moved to LA. You're here.
Yeah.
And then what? So, like, do you still want? Did you go straight into voiceover acting, or did you
No,
want
I mean, I had done voiceover in college, and I loved it, because it's very theatrical. You know, you're in the booth.
How did you like?
You can be.
How did they teach you that? Like,
I don't really know if it was like something that I didn't like take a class.
Okay, yeah,
I mean, I've taken classes here, but I didn't necessarily take a class. I think it's just, I don't know. It was like I felt so comfortable in the booth. I'd done a commercial and I was doing radio ads in Tallahassee.
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
for this commercial, and it was just super fun. But I was kind of myself, in that. But
did you like that? Like people couldn't see you, I guess, and you can just kind of like put on a funny voice.
I guess it wasn't even me thinking of the aftermath of how it was going to sound.
Right.
It was more just being in the booth and it being
like
so creative. Yes, and it kind of gives you that same experience as when you're in theater as opposed to being in film. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I remember I started auditioning. I started doing a lot of commercial auditions, and I started to get really, really nervous. When I was started, and I was like, what is happening to me? My lip would quiver. I would be like freaking out. And I think it's because there was just so much pressure to nail this one line so that you could book this one role.
It's so stressful when you really think about it.
It's like, thank you for flying Spirit Airlines. It's like, that's all you had to say. And it's like nailed it. Fucked up. And
that's not it.
And that'll make or break you. It's like, and people are like, how are you? What are you doing? What are you booking? And it felt like that is what was validating you. And it really took away my passion for me in the sense of I was like, I feel like I'm not getting what I want out of this. This one line isn't fulfilling me.
You really are as an actress too. Like it's so hard to like.
I was like, how does this define me? I was so, and
even if like a character doesn't like necessarily fit you as an actress personally, like there's that doesn't make you like a bad actress. It just means that character.
100%. And I know at the beginning you kind of get.
But they don't tell you that.
No.
They just make you feel like, you're
exactly. You're like, I'm a piece of...
But when you really think about it, like, no, maybe just stop.
I was like, I'm going back to Florida. I'm going back to Florida.
No, LA is like a place where they'll crush your dreams. So
100%.
Like, I think like we just need to always like remind ourselves, like, wait a minute, like, no.
Yeah, if it's important to you and you love it, just keep fighting for it. If it's something that you can't live without, if you eat, sleep, and breathe it, if you feel like you're doing a 9 to 5 and you feel like you're just wasting your life away. And I know it's so cliche to say, but you really do only live once, you know? You do. And I know 70-year-old, 60-year-old, 50-year-old Sarah would be like, why did you not do it? Who cares? Like that fear is on your head. That's just a societal pressure telling you that you have to look and be something that it's just stop, you know? Don't worry about it. No, just live your truth. Live with your heart. Lead with your heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I started getting into voiceover, my fiance, he did a lot of voiceover. And so he's like, I'll record some reels for you. And just being in the booth and doing animation reels, I felt so myself that it brought back that passion. I was like, I love this.
That's what brought it back.
So I kind of
take like a little break or something?
I didn't really take a break. I just like started integrating them together. So I was doing, but I was clearly leaning more towards one than the other. You know what I mean? Because it was exciting me and it was fun. And you know, but I felt like for a long time I was kind of relying on him to record a lot of my auditions. I'd be like, honey, I have another audition. And he'd be like, again? And it's like, well, yeah, this is how it works.
And like when you're an actress and you have to send in auditions, like I feel like you do need someone to like read the lines with you. Because I feel like when you just have like a camera and you're like, like talking to your camera, like, I don't know, like I've tried it before and I just cannot do it to save my life. So I'm like, how do they do this? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm like,
well, also I was using his booth. I was using his equipment. And so then obviously I became more independent.
Yeah.
And
how do you like apply to these, like do you have like a
voiceover agent? And so they submit you and everything and you're just getting auditions. So but to record it, you're not going to record it on your phone.
You like I can do this voice and that. Like, how do you
you kind of just set up your profile with them. You let them know what you're interested in, what your age range is for voices, what male, female, you know, whichever. You give them your reels because I have an animation reel, so it can be all over the spectrum. You know what I mean?
Okay, so it's like a little animation with like your voice talking.
Yeah, so basically I just
wait, that's like, sick. I actually like would love to see it.
Yeah, so it's basically you just come up with all, you know, characters or accents, dialects, whatever it be. And then you kind of just roll with it because they're true to who you are. Or you could do impressions. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
does it say like when you go into the booth, like, oh, like this is what we kind of like expect the person to sound like, or do you just kind of like go into it and freestyle?
Sometimes like especially if it's not an animation audition, sometimes it'll just be a script for, I don't know, like Tide or something.
Right.
And
maybe they'll be like, oh, you're a housewife.
You're right. They're like, we love the voice essence of blah, blah, blah. And it's an actress. And so maybe she's not a voiceover actress, but her voice tone and texture is kind of what they're looking for.
Oh, like
and how she talks.
Like slow and progressive.
Exactly.
Okay,
so it's like that's kind
like
of
that style.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Not all the time, but sometimes.
Like, how do you make that judgment or call? Like, this is
you
what
just
the
go
person
for it,
or
especially.
Should sound like,
but that's what I love about animation, because you'll get a script, and for me, the voice will always just pop into my head immediately. What I'm going to do. Yeah.
Has it ever happened where it doesn't pop in? I mean, you're like, how do I speak for this person?
Yes. And then I just go to my fiance. I'm like, what do you think?
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you think? And I'm like, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Great talking to you. Yeah.
love this.
love this. Let's do it again in 2 hours. Okay.
Yeah. So like, what happens? You're just like,
you kind of, I mean, obviously there's always something I can do, but sometimes I just know right away what is the right voice. Like, you know what I mean? That I'm like, oh, nailed that.
Yeah.
And the best way, I'm like, that is so fitting. That's the exact voice I want to do, you know? But sometimes I'm like, all right, that works, but I don't know if that's necessarily what they would be looking for.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're probably going to get a bunch like that. So it's not as unique, I guess.
I didn't even think about that. Like when they get their submissions, they're just getting like, how many do you think? Like hundreds of like voice
A lot
files?
of times I also feel like the moment you get an audition, you have to try and submit it right away.
Like, you can't.
Because people, they
all send them in so quickly that you're just going to get pushed to the bottom.
Right. And also they're like, after a while, they're like,
after 10, they're probably like, they all sound the same.
Because even like, obviously, like I've worked in casting, so I've watched like a lot of tapes.
Yeah.
And the first few tapes, you're kind of easily impressed in a sense.
Right.
So towards the end, you're like, show me something good.
Yeah.
Which sounds awful, but it's like,
you really
surprise me.
You kind of start getting a little harder on the other ones. You're like, I really like this one. Show me why I shouldn't pick this one. You know
or it's the opposite, where there's so many auditions that I don't want to say are bad. But they're just like lacking energy, or this like one tone or something.
It just feels so like they're reading, like it's just like they're reading the line and they're just recording. Like it didn't, like I'm like, did you take like 5 seconds?
Yes.
Like, just read my little description.
But then
of, like,
you see one audition that's good, and you think it's incredible,
right?
So then you have to watch it again later. And you're like, was that incredible, or was it the only one that was I desperate? Was I desperate? Am I searching? Am I searching? I was actually just casting a feature of our friend the other day, and last week. And I remember I was watching tapes yesterday. No, it was Monday. Monday, I was watching tapes for the ones I couldn't do in-person audition.
Right.
And I remember I was watching a few, nothing. And then I saw one, and I like brought Mark over. I was like, this is amazing, right? He's like, they're good. They're all right. And I was like, am I desperate right now? What's happening? But yeah, so there's always that. Sometimes it's good to like star them and come back.
My desperate.
Yeah, you're like, they're right for it, right? I'm like convincing him. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I don't care. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I feel like I always bring him into my like shenanigans. He's always like, okay, always eating or something.
I feel like if you guys are both in the industry, it makes sense to like work together and like build each other's portfolios, help each other out, like
100%.
with like lines and like setting up, camera, filming, whatever you do. I think that's the best. I feel like if Nick was in film, I'd be doing the same thing. But even him not being in film, I'm like, can you help me do this?
He still finds even when we came in here, he's like, let me know what you need.
Yeah, I was like, he's dog.
Yeah, you're like, now. He's super supportive, and I think that's what. Yeah, exactly.
Don't go touch your car.
Exactly.
Don't take out the trash, like literally anything. So I'm like, my microphone will pick it up.
And I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it.
honey, I love you.
Have you ever done voiceovers or like dubbing for like foreign like shows or something?
Yes, actually, I did this. Oh my gosh, it was so sad. It didn't get picked up.
So fun to like try, like an activity.
So
like
fun, but it's actually hard to do. It's hard to dub because it's like beep, 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 and you have to land the line in English and whatever. So I basically booked like the French Lion King. It's like a little animation show. Yeah.
Awesome.
And we filmed like a couple episodes, and then the person who I think was running it, and I don't know, he didn't like the way the characters were coming off, like all of us. I guess he didn't feel like it was in unison coming together anyway.
Okay.
So we had someone come over and like help us all, and like we still, it didn't get picked up, but which was so sad because we
but
filmed
that
like,
happens too, right?
I know, but it was so fun filming a couple episodes, and I played
Sounds
like
fun.
an 8-year-old boy, and it was great.
You were?
And it was like a little lion.
That is
It was so cute.
Wait,
And like watching my little voice on the screen, I was like, oh,
You're like, I'm adorable.
yeah, I was like, I'm so cute.
I fall in love with myself.
Yeah, I'm in love with me. It's me.
That's actually really cute.
Yeah.
So you were in there and they were like, okay, like, are you wearing headphones? And
You're wearing headphones.
I feel like I'd be nervous. Like, okay, don't look it up.
Yeah, I know. It's a little nervous, but it's crazy because after that experience, because I didn't have a lot of experience in dubbing.
Yeah.
Luckily I was just able to do that.
Yeah.
But when it didn't get picked up, because I had trouble kind of nailing it, getting
I don't
the
think
full
it's-
line
I
out.
feel like it's hard.
Especially if there was like multiple lines in
Yeah.
one sitting, and I was like trying to
they're
get the
talking
timing
fast in their native like
Right.
language, like, and then having
right. And if
keep
their
up
mouth
in
is
English.
closed while you're trying to, you
right,
know what I
you're
mean?
trying to match the
A little
lips,
bit,
too,
a little
right?
bit. Yeah, you have to. Definitely.
Well, yeah, that would make sense. Or else it looked just so weird.
Mhm.
Like, because I
But-
was watching, even when I was watching Squid Game, I was watching in English, but my brother was like, why'd you watch it in English? And I was like, so I can understand it. And he's like, just watch it with subtitles in Korean. And he's like, it sounds so much better. He's like, all the characters sound like really off and weird.
Yes.
I was like so like already immersed in it in English. I was like, no, I don't think so. But then I like tested it out, and it was crazy how different it was.
Really?
And I was like, yeah,
Probably
like-
so much better.
like the girl, like the I don't know. Have you seen it?
Yes, I did.
The
I did.
one that
You can tell me.
like the one that's like a little crazy, like the one chick that's like
She's like, I know it's, yes.
So she's in like English, she's always like screaming and sounding like a little cuckoo.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
in Korean, she sounds like badass and like kind of makes sense to like why she like her tone of voice makes sense. In English, it didn't translate as well.
Yeah, I
It
felt
kinda
like
just
it
made
was
it sound
a
like-
little annoying.
Yes, it was annoying. It wasn't like badass.
Mhm.
Like oh,
But then
like,
I
oh, the
also
woman
felt
here.
they wanted us to be annoyed with her.
Yeah, that too. That
You
too.
know? But
I
there was
think-
a couple voices definitely. Sometimes when I
Yes.
watch things in English that are dubbed,
Yeah.
the voice actor I don't think is right for it, and I feel like it ruins the
It
role
ruins
a little.
the show a little bit.
Yeah, and the role where if
Yeah.
you listen to it in the native
100%.
tongue, they're great.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So-
So anime too.
Yeah.
I like had that same experience. Like the voiceover, it's so like, well, but that's actually hard to like. I feel like dub and do a voiceover for because you have to like they speak a certain way. You know,
You know what's
Explain
funny?
it a
I
certain way.
did. Okay, so after I did the dubbing thing,
Yeah.
I went and took a dubbing class, like
Oh,
a whole.
wow,
It was a
okay.
voiceover class that
Yeah.
included dubbing.
Okay.
With this amazing studio, Adventures in Voice Acting.
Nice.
If anyone's interested,
Shout out.
they're great. They're amazing.
Right.
And we did dubbing at the end, and for some reason it was so much easier to
Yeah.
dub with this studio. I don't know if it was the way they did their countdowns, but I felt like it was
Yeah.
just seamless to
Like the
nail the
rhythm
line.
felt more right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was like,
Maybe-
why couldn't I
maybe
do
it
this
is-
when I
yeah.
booked the thing I booked?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like,
Maybe it is the environment.
I was like, my
that you're in.
timing's a little off, you know, just a little bit. But we did anime dubbing, and I loved it.
What was it like? How did you do it?
I mean, it just
I'm
it,
like shocked. I love
it's-
it.
because it's so big, you know.
Right.
It's
anime
so
is huge. Like, if you can
huge.
get an anime
Yeah.
like, dubbing voiceover,
but the reactions and everything's so big and dramatic, and yeah, exactly. So I think, yeah, things you would just say, or like
exactly.
they're like blink, you know.
Yeah,
it's like you know, okay.
And they kind of narrate like a lot of it, which I know it's a style of anime
Mhm.
and like stuff like that. But at first, when I didn't know about like the style of anime, I was like, why do they think I'm so stupid and I can't follow the story? You know, because they like literally like explain everything. They're like, there's like the guy coming like crossing the street. They're like, the guy's crossing the street. There's 5 seconds left on the light, and you like see it happen. So,
You
okay.
mail them a letter. You're like, why do you guys
Why do
think
you
I'm
do
so
this?
stupid? They
Well,
write you
Netflix
back.
is
You
making
are
their
stupid.
own
You're like,
anime too. So I'm like,
they are.
mhm. They're actually like The Great Pretender. That's like a Netflix original anime.
Okay.
And it's like based in like like their world is like Hollywood, and then they go to like different parts around the world and stuff. It's like it's pretty cool actually. It's very different because like I feel like Netflix doesn't usually do that, so it's like a new thing.
Yeah,
It's a great market, and they're gonna make a lot of money.
100%. Also, I feel like Netflix right now is expanding
like a motherfucker.
like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's just owning everyone and
Literally.
everything.
Yeah.
It owns me. It owns me.
Yeah, I mean, I watch it every day. So I'm like,
I feel like
We're
I
in a
also
relationship.
just go through Netflix every day because we're such movie people, me and my friends.
Yeah.
Like all we do is watch shows and movies.
yeah.
That sometimes we're just scrolling through, we're like, what do we watch? There's nothing new. There's nothing new.
I know.
And we'll scroll for like 2 hours and then we just settle on like Forensic Files. But
Can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong.
Do you ever, like, now that, like, you have experience acting, voiceover acting, casting, direct, like, all these different things, like, when you watch a film, like, does it still give you that same effect, like, before? Or, like, are some films, like, ruined? Because for me, it's, like, once I went to film school, and now that I've been making movies, I'm just, like, I can't fully immerse myself anymore. It's hard. Like,
but if you do get immersed, then you know it's incredible. Yes.
There are those movies where I'm like, whoa.
Like Squid Game, I was like, holy shit.
The writing was amazing.
Amazing. There was a couple times I was like, that was a strange translation.
Yeah.
Or why they thought that would be funny, but maybe that's the culture.
You can't read the subtitles and listen to it in English. It's completely off. It's 100%. So different. It kept confusing me because I was like hearing something else, but I would read like.
Do you know what's so sad though? I'm so used to. I do subtitles for everything.
Oh, me too.
I think I'm deaf. No, I'm not kidding. Priscilla? No, really.
What was the question?
Yeah. Why?
What was that?
I really do think I'm deaf, and it's funny because I noticed I grew up with a friend, one of my best friends growing up, and she was Brazilian, so she always had subtitles on, which I guess in a way that probably helped her learn English a lot. And then Marco, he's Peruvian, so he always used subtitles. So I've just been using subtitles, but now I feel like it's never like I'm reading the subtitles.
You just want it there for like safety.
Oh no, now I need it. Now I need it. I depend on it fully. I'm a subtitle addict. Like if there had to be one, I would
hear the story.
Yeah.
Even though it has nothing to do with
nothing. Honestly, when there's no subtitles, I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
He's like, it's on volume 62. I'm like, nothing's making sense. Subtitles, I'm like, okay, I totally get it. I was like, story locked. It's locked in now. But yeah, I think I'm just so used to it because I've just been around people that have used it. Yeah. And some people that don't use subtitles I have friends that are like, please, for the love of God, take off the fucking subtitles.
Some people are like, how it's so distracting. Like how, I don't think it's that distracting.
But I think that's because we're used to it. And I think for them, they see the subtitles and they just feel like they have to read it. Where for me, it's kind of just molded into one image now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
You're right. I feel like that's how I see it too, but some people really don't see like that.
Yeah, like I'm like, I see the character. I see the guy in the back.
Like this much of the screen that I want to see.
I was like, I see that book, I see that tree, and I see the subtitles. It's all one. Yes, everything. And I understand the story, most importantly, you know? So
if you could pick now, like what do you choose? Are you like still all into voice acting or do you want to like do more like acting?
It's so funny. I just had this conversation with someone because during COVID, obviously everything was shut down.
How did that affect you with voiceover acting and stuff?
I mean, I was doing a couple, but not, I mean, you know, a lot of people, I felt like the whole industry kind of shut down because it's, where do we record? How do we record? Are we going to record with people in the room? Are we comfortable with that?
Did they expect you to have like a recording booth or like
so there's,
a microphone?
I mean, I have a booth and everything that one thing that was great with COVID is I learned a whole like editing software. So now I don't have to be like, Marco, I need you. Yes.
Shit. Like I literally was like, I hate editing. In film school, I was like, I hate editing. I'm never gonna edit. I'm not gonna like every time I have a project, I'm gonna like pay someone to edit. Like I was like, I'm not gonna like fully like learn it. And now every fucking week I have to edit my podcast.
And you're like, I love it. It's my favorite.
Like I'm forced to like
but now you do it.
Because I have to do it. So I'm like, you know, I'm like, okay, well maybe I should add this or that, you know? And then like even now with like my little shorts, I'm like, you know, I could edit it. I'm not as intimidated. Before I was like, if I edit it,
it's a crazy world. The editing.
I know. It's crazy how it just like changed. Like, yeah.
But it was good because I felt obviously a little bit, I should have been more self-reliant to, you know, to do those things on my own. But I remember a lot of people were doing like funny COVID videos or web series or just like, you know, small videos.
Right.
And I looked at Marco.
TikTok, like,
I was like, Marco, I was like, I have this great idea for, you know, web series. I was like, you know, we're a couple. It'll be a couple. We kind of film like The Office, little confessions and stuff. It'll be like day 1, like 2 minutes in a bit, and then it's like day 20, then it's like day 300. Right. But each thing, it's kind of gradually increases with what was going on during like day 1. It's like remember when you went to the grocery store, you couldn't find anything, nothing. So it's kind of like day 1, introducing the characters, blah blah blah.
It's so weird that was literally a year ago.
Oh, really? What happened to the toilet paper? I still don't understand that. I don't understand that.
That much?
Yeah, I don't understand. Why are people so scared of running out of toilet paper?
For me, it's more like food. Like
like
we have food, right? Like,
I mean, I bought some weird shit. When I went to the grocery store, I was like, that's available.
Like,
I'm going to buy it.
Eat this, and you like don't.
Never used it.
Well, maybe,
never used it. Yeah, maybe. You don't know. Desperate times, desperate measures. Exactly. I was like, I'm going to eat that if I like it or not. You know?
Yeah.
But we did this incredible web series, and I was so proud of it because we wrote it together, and it was such a.
Do you guys usually like write stuff together, or is this like a new thing that's been happening?
He'll come to me and sometimes be like, "What do you think of this?" And then I'll kind of chime in and stuff, and he'll take my constructive criticism, which I love because we get to be creative together. Mm-hmm. But doing this project was the first one. It was like really all hands in. He took it so seriously. I was like, and every day we like wrote, and then we had our 2 filming days, and it came together. And he's an amazing editor.
Oh,
like movie magic. Sometimes I'm like, it could be like,
send me the tips. On how to edit.
Seriously, he's so good that I'm like. And then this year we made a series for our dog because we're like, well, now what do we do? Let's make our dog famous. But yeah, doing that web series got me back into.
Like just coming
enjoying, and also enjoying being in front of the camera again because I was like, it made me also feel really comfortable in my own shoes in the sense that I also felt like when I came out here and I was doing commercial auditions, I had to look a certain way. I was worried how I looked on film where now I'm like, I don't care. Like, and it just made me so much more comfortable and I got excited again, you know?
That's what it's all about. I feel like you don't want to like be doing something that you're like miserable at and you're like,
no.
Or like, it just sucks when some people like, were like, I used to love doing this. And it just like, you can tell like Hollywood sucked the like, fucking life or soul out of that person.
I think you just have to find what about it made you happy. And also how do you want to represent yourself in this industry? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think I realized that again, like coming back into it. So yeah, I definitely want to get back more into film.
No, it's not easy. Not everyone knows that, right? I feel like it takes time to figure that out, you know?
100%. I think it comes with age. Like, as you get older, you're like, what's important, you know?
What's important?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I don't care what I look like, you know? It was like, so I was the exorcist in one of the episodes, and I looked like a psychopath. I was like, oh, this is my favorite episode to film. Let's do it again. Yeah. It was so much fun. And just doing something with someone that you love.
Yeah.
And filming.
What is that like? So what is it like working?
So for the most part, it was,
for the most part,
we laughed so much.
So
we were
like
just
fun.
Crying, laughing. It was so much fun. But he's so professional, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But on set, sometimes people who are like overly professional, they can't enjoy themselves, I think. And the whole.
Yeah.
You're supposed to enjoy yourself. Like, have a little fun. Not too much fun.
Not too much fun
where
like,
it's distracting.
Right. But you also don't want to just be like.
And also, we were filming a comedy. You know what I mean?
It should be
and
fun.
there was a lot of improv. And there was times, though, where we were hysterically laughing during filming that we had to stop it, which was my favorite moments. You know? I was like, this is why we do this. Obviously, for the finished product, too. But I was like, this is amazing. And it was nice that I got to pull that fun out of him and he got to enjoy it too, you know, because sometimes he's like, all right, well, back to one. I'm like, okay.
So do you usually act and he does the editing and what else is
it's both, and actually a lot I help.
He acts too, right?
Yeah, a lot of times I'm helping do any type of.
So you do like crew positions when
exactly,
when he's talent, and then
for the most part I'm helping him with the crew stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I love it as long as I'm there to help him and be part of the process. And it's so fun, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And I know he's super grateful, and it's like I just love seeing it come together.
Right.
You know, when it was like just a little piece of paper, you know,
I know,
with an idea.
Whole, when it's an idea in your head and then just coming to life, that's the best part. So I feel like when you have someone to share that with, and you're like, remember when we talked about it?
It's also funny rewatching it now, and I'm like, sometimes I laugh, or I'm like, oh, that joke didn't land as well, or I'm like, this is so funny, you know, like looking at it now.
Has it ever happened where if he edits something and then maybe you're like, I like this cut better, and he's like, I think this is better.
100%. That happens so many times.
Really?
Yeah, and
so how do you guys handle or settle that, or
for the most part, he kind of, I felt like he took my way, which I think ended up, there was a couple times I was like, you were right, you know, but because sometimes it was 2 takes that were both great, but it was what was going to button it the best, you know what I mean? But it also depends on everything that came from before,
right?
You know, so and all the takes that we chose before, as opposed to choosing the other one that would have made it work. But yeah, there was a couple times where I think there was one time we both were like, we really disagreed on one, and I was like, I don't know, flip a coin. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, we gotta flip a coin, bitch.
Would you have been pissed if it landed on his side?
Oh yeah. because I really felt like that was my baby.
Yeah.
I know we created it together, but
Right.
you know, I pretty much wrote it out, everything that I was like, this is my baby.
Right.
You
Like,
know?
I know how to. Yeah.
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 But
Do you guys usually put each other in each other's projects, or is it like if you want to be, or like how does it go
it's
down?
funny because I feel like he's the one that does a lot more projects. He's a little bit more invested just because he edits, he directs, he acts. So he has a lot more different opportunities coming from different, you know,
different
brand
things to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But so do you.
Yeah. But I feel like he, for the most part, he'll always ask me, do you want to do this? Do you want to anything? I never want to feel like I'm expecting. Yes.
Exactly.
You know what
That's
I mean?
too. Like, you know,
And I've
like,
told him that.
I
was like, I don't want. I
so
was like,
you've had that conversation.
I was like, I don't have to be a part of this. I don't have to. And there's some things I'm not in, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's totally fine.
Because I wonder. That's what I was wondering. I was like, do they do every project together?
No.
Like, or like, are you always the main girl?
Yeah. Yeah. Are you? Yeah, I'm the main character.
Yeah. Like, are you always the love interest?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, maybe.
Actually, a lot of times I'm not the love interest, which is
like,
funny.
No.
Yeah.
That's actually that's interesting too. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I've actually experienced it before. There's been like, I've worked with a couple ones. Like back in film school, where the girlfriend was very, very overprotective over her boyfriend who was acting, and he had a kissing scene.
Shit.
But every time after the kissing scene, she would like after a yelling cut, she would come on set and like make out with him in front of us. Like we all just thought, like, you know, he's an actor. Like no one was overthinking it more than it was, right?
But
like,
then
it's
her
just a
doing
kiss
that made it more.
Yeah, and so we were all
This
just
is
like,
the thing now.
I was like, damn. Yeah, so she was doing that.
It stressed you out.
Yeah, right. I was like, oh my god, like what's happening? It was like kind of uncomfortable. But I was just thinking to myself, like I get, like, there has to be personality type of the jealous girlfriend, you know, even with actors and actresses,
or even vice versa. You know what I mean?
So I like, I'm curious, like, does that ever like happen?
I mean, there's definitely been times I've been a little like, you know, but how
do you handle, like, if, like, for example, if you had a kissing scene, like, how would you go about, like, you're like, oh, I have a boyfriend or I have a fiance in your case,
right? I mean, for him, he doesn't care.
He knows that it's your job.
Well, also, he's been in the situation on the other hand where he's doing that. So he's like, this is just an acting scene. It's fine. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Which is very mature. And also, I think you get that with age as well.
Yes.
I feel like when you're like the young and mature, like,
or you know what it is? You just know how to control it better. I think that's what it is, because I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, exactly. I can feel that way, but I won't act that way. But you can still get those insecure feelings. But those aren't real. You know what I mean? Or they are real, but they're not. I don't think it's fair to act on them because it's not his fault or her fault. Right. You know, this is just a small feeling, and you kind of just have to nip it in the bud and say, hey, this is your own insecurity. This is coming from a place that you need to work on. You need to talk to yourself, and it's not significant. He's not doing anything wrong. She's not doing anything wrong. You know what I mean?
Which is huge. No, I'm glad that you mentioned that. And said that too, because like I feel like it might not always be that easy for certain people.
And I think it's more important to be supportive of your partner
than be like,
especially when you know they're in a creative situation, instead of, you know, because you want them to be in the moment. Like, you want them to be successful, and you want them to, you know, live their truth on screen or whatever it is that they're doing. Right. But I think of course, I'm sure there's like jealous, because also you see people fall in love on set. I mean,
it's
Brad and Angelina.
That's what I'm saying. It's happened before, where, you know, like, you know, the person leaves their like significant other for the person they get on set. So like, it's not like it hasn't ever happened. So
right.
Fear of being there,
100%. So it's.
But I also feel like if you trust your partner and like, you know, like. It should be that bond, that like trust should be there.
If that bond, the thing is, if they're leaving their partner for you, there was already stuff that needed to be worked out at home. That wasn't
one kiss,
exactly like that one kiss got me. That was
one
it.
Kiss after Crafties.
Give me after Crafties, the Cheeto breath. It just yes.
So would you ever do like a cartoon voiceover? Like, do you like?
Yeah, are you kidding me? That's probably my dream, is to do.
Do you like
a Pixar animation?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that would be fucking lit. Like,
oh my gosh,
like, animation,
amazing.
Like
yeah.
Like, how can you just like submit, or like, is it like, oh, you have to have like?
It's kind of like
5 years of voiceover experience.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
kind
is
of.
it the same shit with experience?
I mean. From what I've done, I feel like it's kind of like with acting, how you're doing commercial auditions at the beginning, just because to build up your repertoire, your resume, everything like that. And then you get the theatrical agent, and then you start going out for bigger auditions. Yeah. Or you have a connection. You know what I mean? Right. But I think it's kind of similar with voiceover.
Okay.
You know?
Similar. Yeah, that actually makes sense because I'm like, I was like, do you? Because I mean, when I look at like directing gigs, it's not that easy to like just go online and be like, let me submit to this for like the at least studio stuff. They want like they're like 37 years of experience. I'm like,
you're like,
I'm
dead. I'm dead. I started when I was 37. Now I'm 78. What is the math on that? 74.
Like,
you know,
it's just like stressful when I see that shit, and I'm like, it's discouraging too. So I'm just like. I do wonder, like, what does it feel like when you like go to like different auditions? And
because
you see
experience
all these
comes in so much more than just textbooks and obviously working on you know shows and your own films and stuff. It's life experience too. So I think if you have a certain background, I feel like if someone's willing to take a chance on you, which I'm sure there are people that have gotten that opportunity. Then you know,
Have you ever done any like work gigs in Florida, like in your hometown? Have you ever gone back and done anything?
Oh my gosh, no! I feel like every time I go back, it's just to visit my mom, or like you know, and I literally just like stay in the house all day watching movies with her, and then I'm like, bye.
Would it be cheaper to shoot in Florida?
Maybe I know. Isn't Atlanta?
Atlanta's a spot for sure.
I know. I have a lot of.
LA is just not it.
I have a couple friends that do stunt work, and they do a lot of stunt work in Atlanta.
Fun. Yeah. I would love to just like learn and like do a stunt routine. It'd be so fun.
Yeah, a routine. I have a friend.
Have you done it?
No. I'm a big scaredy cat. Are you kidding me?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Oh my gosh. So actually my fiance, he just broke his leg basically. I think I was telling you when we were at did I tell you that? At Nicole's birthday maybe? Anyway, so he broke his leg in Florida. Right?
So don't go to Florida.
Yeah, exactly. Don't go to Florida. Don't go. On a rope swinging into a river. Is like a huge daredevil. Yeah. You understand? We'll be on a boat and he like is doing all these crazy backflips. I'm like, Marco, no! Yeah. I'm like a mother. I can't even watch people light fireworks. I get so scared.
Well, that's actually fucking scary. Because I'm like, what if it's over?
I mean, if it's like a person I don't know, I'm like, yeah, light it up. But if it's like my little brother, I'm like, get away from it. You know, I'm so scared. I'm just a scaredy cat. I'm overly paranoid. I don't know how I'm going to be a mother. Like, this is probably why my dog is fucked up right now because I'm just like, my little baby, overprotective. But anyway, so he breaks his leg, right? Comes back. Now, like, if I'm driving and if it's like speed limit's 40, I'm going 42, he's like, please slow down. His mentality has completely shifted, which I love. I love because now I'm like, okay, you're not going to be the person doing backflips off a boat. You know what I mean? So
crazy.
It's kind of put us on like the same page in a sense. But one of his best friends though is in stunts. He's a stuntman, and I think he's a stuntman. He just got a job.
That shit's dangerous. Like, 'cause, I mean, you are like getting lunged around and like catching.
Oh my god!
And, like, throwing
even worse than that. You see some
correctly, like that's hard.
Yeah, those 007 films, the people that are jumping like 300 feet. I don't even know. That's probably a little aggressive. Maybe it's like 20 feet. I don't know.
But regardless, still, like, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's in someone's doing that. Obviously, not Pierce Bronson, or Daniel Craig. You guys aren't doing that. Or I'm sure they do some stunts, or even like
Tom Cruise claims he does some of his own stunts. Which
I believe that.
He does.
I believe that.
Is it Mission Impossible? The new,
like
the new one where he like jumps out of the plane.
Yes, I heard he did that.
Yeah, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, tell us if we're wrong.
Yeah,
or don't.
Yeah, or just
let us believe it.
Let us be right.
Yeah, we're right about everything.
Yeah,
never mind, we're not wrong. Yeah, we're right. But then, what is it? Also, Fast and the Furious. Those crazy car scenes. Someone's doing those scenes. That's insane.
I know those drifting.
And people live for it. Like my fiance's best friend.
I'm like, I don't know if I
loves doing shit like that. I think he's working at Universal right now, or one of those theme parks in Florida.
One of those theme parks.
One of those theme parks. One of the 300 that they have. It's like gotta have something to do. And he does these insane stunts, and he's so excited. He lives for it. Never gets nervous. Never. What a junkie. I can't even imagine.
That is crazy. I mean, you don't get nervous either at all when you like perform or anything. So I guess it's like the same thing, because he feels like he's like, that's his performance.
Maybe.
In a sense, right?
I guess that's a good way to put it.
And then I guess like the more you do it, maybe the less you get nervous.
I think also it's better not to be nervous, especially if you're doing a stunt.
Up.
Yeah, I think you should be super confident, especially with a landing or something. I mean, and people still, they get hurt.
How do you like train for that? Like, how do you like practice?
I
Like,
just think
you
years.
know what? I'm just gonna like jump out of a 4-story like building
And then
and
at the
land
bottom, I'm going to land into a pit of
I'm gonna
fire.
land it.
And then there's going to be saws going like this, and I have to find my
That's
way out
fucking
through that little
crazy.
tunnel.
I'm like,
Okay, go.
So you wouldn't really be down to do like an action movie?
Absolutely. Oh, an action movie?
And they're like, well,
I
lunge
mean-
you, like you have to fall out of a skyscraper.
I'm going to be like, where's my stunt woman?
They're
Where's
like, no,
my,
we believe in you.
where's
dude."
my stunt double?
Where's my stunt?
Yeah. We believe in you. You can do it. No, I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah. Well,
Also, I think I don't know. It's hard. There's certain environments too, really cold environments.
yeah,
Filming in the snow.
that's true. Have you ever like filmed in any crazy like weather? What was like like any crazy like set stories, like acting or like something that was just like, I don't know, that you just like didn't expect or out of the ordinary?
Not that crazy. It's probably me being a brat about it.
I want to hear
But
it.
I love it, you brat. It was actually okay. So I remember I did like one day of extra work here,
Yeah.
and I forgot the show that it was for.
Yeah.
And we were on a beach,
Yeah.
and it was
Bachelor in
so
Paris.
fucking cold. So cold, and we basically
were you
were wearing
shivering?
nothing
Oh,
because that was
no.
part of it. It was like wearing like a very thin little top, and we were there for hours, and we had to keep the whole scenario was moving this furniture into the middle of the beach because they're going to light it on fire, and it's this big bonfire.
Mhm.
I forget. Who cares? Who
Right,
cares?
Right.
Regardless, back and forth,
Yeah.
forth, freezing,
Yeah.
freezing.
And they didn't give you like a blanket in between takes.
No. Which I mean, you know, you're
Yeah.
you're an extra. You're an
Right.
extra.
But
And there was
still-
like 300
yeah,
of
okay,
us.
you're right. Oh,
I was
there
like, I gotta get
300.
out of here. I gotta get out of
You
here.
have to stay here for 12 hours or like.
Yeah, I was just trying to get a voucher. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people do that. They'll go and,
Yeah.
central casting, they're trying to get vouchers, or they really just want to do extra work.
Some
and
people do
some-
enjoy it. Yeah, I see
some
it
people,
too.
that's what they're doing.
So it's like,
Yeah.
it just depends on the person. Some people don't even want to be the main character
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're SAG extras.
Yeah, and you're also not going to get a voucher every time, so it's kind of like
What's
the luck
this
of the
voucher
draw.
like? What is this voucher like?
So you can get up to, I think it's like 3 vouchers,
Okay.
and then you're SAG eligible.
Oh,
So
that's what
it's
makes
like,
it SAG
right. Or there's other ways to get SAG eligible, but
I actually was asking my coworker, like I think yesterday, we were like driving, and I was like, so is the end goal to like be a part of the union or not? Like I don't know.
I think it's up to you.
I was just
there's
like,
right or wrong answer.
somebody else do it.
Yeah, and you're like somebody's on the street
No,
with a mouse.
somebody. I just feel so confused.
But I also think yes in a way because you're gonna have exponential opportunity,
Right.
and
But if you're part of like the union and stuff, can you work a part of independent stuff?
you mean like non-union stuff?
Yeah.
I don't think you can.
Right. So it's like,
Or
but you
it
get
has
paid
to-
really well, and you usually get
Right,
these
I
big
think
clients,
or
right?
It's like an interesting trade-off.
I don't know, because I've heard yes and no. I've heard
Me
yes and
too,
no.
that's why I'm just
where it's like
confused.
you're not allowed, you can't do it
Yeah.
if you're a
Yeah.
union and it's a non-union project. But then I've also heard the opposite.
Because
I don't know. We got to get on the same page. I got to
remember
understand.
when I was like doing a casting for one of my short films. Somebody was like, they were really good, and I was like, I want them, but they were SAG, and since it was a non-union film
Did their
project, they were like, no, like we can't do it.
Oh.
Student project, sorry, film project. I was like, what's the fucking word?
You're like, what did I create?
Yeah, it was a student film, and it wasn't a union, so the guy was just like, no, sorry, I can't be in it. Like my like SAG won't let me, or the union won't let me, or something like that. So I was just like, what are these like?
I think,
rules
I don't
and
think you can. I
terms?
think it goes against the union rules.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, like once you're in, it's like I guess you're not coming out.
But it's weird
Like,
because
that's such a
non-union
fucking commitment.
can
I'm
do
stressed.
set. Yeah. Also, I'm like, I don't
I'm
know.
like, I
That's
can't.
it. It sounds kind of culty.
Yeah, it does. It probably is.
It sounds a little. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not
we
sad.
wouldn't know we're not in it.
Yeah, I know. We're not in it. We don't want to be in it. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. Yeah, we're
fine.
like,
It's
we're like,
fine.
unless you know somebody,
Yeah.
let us know.
But like, if there's 2 spots open, like-
Yeah, if there's just, I mean, I guess I'll take it. You know, I have some free time next Thursday,
Yeah.
as long as it's not on a beach.
Yeah.
And we have to move shit around.
That no, I'm just like shocked they didn't give you any blankets though, because well, I wasn't a background. This is the only time I ever fucking did a movie, and there was like the one time I was like, I can't. Like I was like, I can't. Acting is not for me because like it was fun. Don't get me wrong. Like, I loved
Yeah.
the experience. Like it was a great experience, but like just me as it like judging myself, I was just like, it's not you.
Right,
Like,
right. And
you're
also, I mean, it's
You
just,
just know,
but
you
it's,
know?
yeah, you know, it's
know?
also a good experience though, to be in front of the camera, on the other side of the camera, for me, like on the casting spectrum. So it's like, I'm kind of getting all these different little positions. So I'm understanding in a way where everyone's coming from, everyone's coming from.
Yeah.
And then also it makes you a little bit more lenient on yourself.
Yeah.
And
true.
your you know what to expect from each role. And also especially with film now, I was telling you, like, being on camera, I'm not nitpicking how I look. I'm not worried about how I'm saying something because it's going to make me look. I just go for it, because this is what the role warrants, you know?
Yeah.
So it's way more comfortable.
I had fun doing it. Like, I wasn't like, no, like, I don't want to like do this take. But like, when I was just like watching it, I was just kind of like, yeah, I feel like I just want to be more of like creating the story.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
But I'm happy for the opportunity.
It was a great opportunity. Thank you so much.
Done with that.
Like, but it's not really.
Yeah.
But like now I'm happy that I had that experience because I'm like, as a director, like it helps to know like what you expect of your actors and stuff, like
and maybe what they're
like,
the world that they're living in,
right? And like literally, because I was like, you experienced
mentally,
it, like So sometimes, like when I'm like, okay, like. Remember that one.
Yeah. You're like, bring it back, Priscilla. Bring it back.
They made me do that too. It was fucking freezing. It was like 4 or 3 in the morning because they were running behind. And we were supposed to shoot that scene at like 12:30, but we were like so behind. It was the one scene that we were like, I was supposed to die in. Like the mean girls were gonna get killed. It was a spinoff of Amityville Horror. It's Amityville Terror.
Okay.
And so. It's a scene where like I'm about to get stabbed in the throat, and it's like at a cemetery, a fake cemetery that they created. It was fun. It was cool, but it was so cold because it's 3 a.m, and like in the freaking movie, I'm wearing like jeans and just like a long sleeve shirt, so like no jacket or anything. So like literally throughout the whole like 2-minute like scene, we just like had to pretend like we're not cold and just like like be sad.
Yeah.
And I'm just literally like, and then you'd have to like. Play dead once you get stabbed, obviously.
Like, or not. And
I would like have to like fall on the ground, and that was like me doing stunts as well because I'm like falling, and I was like just cold and falling. But like the only good thing about that was like they would actually come in between takes and wrap you in a blanket until which I appreciated.
Yes,
I remember that. I was like, wow.
that's very sweet.
Then, so
they wouldn't do that for extras.
And I kind of expected that, like that's how it is. So when you said, I was like, what the fuck? They just had you cold on the beach, like that.
I think for leading actors, they're
obviously gonna. See, it's like you're still like. Part
I think there's like 300. I feel like I should have come prepared. Also, you know what it is too. When I was talking to a couple of the extras, they're like, we usually just like wait around, you're in a room, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what is this bullshit that I'm on a beach, I'm freezing, and I know I was being bratty about it in my head, but I was so cold. I'm from South Florida.
Oh,
if it's below 75, my fingernails are purple, okay? If Marco was like, I'm moving to New York, I'm moving to Chicago, I'd be like, I love you so much.
We'll do long distance.
Long distance until it doesn't work. I don't know what to tell you because I physically cannot be in that cold environment.
Yeah.
Like some people, it really is just, it's debilitating.
Yeah. No,
is that the right word? Debilitating? Is that the word?
English is my third language. I'm not the person to ask.
Don't tell us if we're wrong. Again.
Like,
were you born here?
No, I was born in Austria.
Oh my God.
So my first language is German, which is like really different from English. So in German, you read exactly how it's like written. So I would like stomach is stomach. So everything was off. Like that's how it
still speak fluent?
I do. Yeah. And like sometimes I'll speak in English and like I'll say things totally like weird or like off or like past tense or like something's just off and like Nick will laugh at me. He's like, oh my God, I forget you're foreign. I've come a long way. Like I used to not know how to read and write in English, had to like go to summer school, read a ton of books. It was so embarrassing. Like I used to hate being like, oh, like she's an ESL because like kids are mean.
I know, of
but
course.
Like I graduated out of ESL, so I was like, fuck you guys. Like
oh my God, good.
I did like English honors in like high school and stuff. So like eventually I was able to get out of it, but it just shows you like, even when things are hard, like
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But back then I didn't see it like that. I was like, fuck
of
this.
course.
Like,
that's so funny because I had scoliosis surgery when I was 14.
Wow.
Which is like, in 7th grade, they do the check and everything.
Yeah.
I was already too far gone. Like I was like during the summer,
really?
my friends' parents would be like, hey, to my mom, they're like, I think something's wrong with Sarah's back. And I'd be like, hi, you guys. Like, I would be like fully bent over. And I was like, what do you mean? And I was wheezing because my spine was closing my lung.
Oh my
so
God.
I'd be like, hey, guys. But nobody, like, we didn't know. Like, it didn't run in my family. Like, why would we just, my mom thought I was getting one hip at a time. Like, going through puberty and getting one hip at a time. I don't know. That's her. She's still embarrassed by that. Sorry, Mom. She's still embarrassed by that. Yeah. And so in 7th grade, I go to do I didn't have to do the check because it was a week before school started. And I went to my doctor, just my regular doctor appointment. Yeah. And he was like, whoa. We got to do a scoliosis check right now. Damn. Yeah. And so he sent me to a doctor in Miami, which is like one of the number one doctors in the world. So for scoliosis, which of course, Miami, of course.
I know, right?
So I have that surgery. I'm out of school for 2 months, right? I have to like learn how to walk again. And when I go back to school, it's middle school.
Wow.
Kids are, vicious. I have my little rolly backpack. I'm also taking the ESE bus. That was just the bus that like happened to be at my stop. So it was like everything. It was like that bus. Yeah. I have my rolly backpack. Yeah. I'm carrying a pillow around with me because to like prop up. Yeah. And so I go to the bathroom and people would sign
that's a great
it.
idea for like just
just in general. Now I'm like, if I could say anything, I'd be like, we should just always have pillows.
A lower back pillow for sure.
100%. I think now it would be more accepted as an adult than it is as a kid.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Because our backpacks are so heavy as kids. Yeah. Like, I remember, like, the books, like, I'd always slouch.
I have fallen over before, and I was like a turtle. Just like my limbs just shaking. I was like, someone help me. Yeah. And I would go to the bathroom, and people would sign my pillow, like, Pillow Girl rocks. And I was like, fuck yeah, Mom, I'm so cool. I'm Pillow Girl. And everyone knew I was Pillow Girl. And I would have to leave class early so I wouldn't get bumped in the back. And I'd be like, hey, it's me, Pillow Girl. And then I got nominated for Prom Queen senior year. So you know what?
Oh my God.
You, that Pillow Girl
that
people.
Is amazing. Have you ever played, like, the mean girl? Or, like, what do you like to play? Like, act, like, character-wise? Like, when you're not doing voice.
Definitely comedy.
Comedy, okay. Yeah. And, like, when you're doing like, do you still like to be like the sweet, nice girl? Like,
I think it just depends.
Or the raunchy, like,
I think like quirky is definitely kind of,
or like dumb, like, funny. There's a lot of different funny.
I feel like dumb funny actually is hard to do well.
Yeah, it is.
To do well, believable without it coming across annoying or over
like,
the top. And I feel like in Mean Girls, Amanda Seyfried, is that how you pronounce her name?
Yes, it is.
She plays that role so well.
Yeah.
She's so believable. She's so good. She's so good. She's so good.
She's so good. Honestly, I'm a mouse. That was fucking genius.
She's great.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone else playing that role.
Do that. Like, that's like, it's so impressive when like actors and actresses just make that like character them, and then it's like you really can't imagine anyone else. Nobody else.
That's when you know. I'm not going to say she was an Oscar winner in that movie, but you know what I mean? When certain people are nominated for an Oscar, can you imagine anyone else filling that role?
No. Hey, it's going to be you one day. I'm excited to see it. No, but we should totally collab sometime.
I would love to collab
I've always
with you.
wanted to direct like a funny like short or like movie or anything.
Yeah.
Or like even like creating like an animation to do a voiceover would be fucking fun. It'd be sick.
And then you can edit it now that you're getting confident with the editing.
Exactly. No, I honestly think we should like try and collab sometime.
I would love to.
I'm like, I have friends in the film industry. Like, why wouldn't we try to make our own shit?
And that's what Marco is. He's always like, he wants to create, I think, making your own stuff, using his
with
friends.
Your friends. Like, putting it together. Like, I just feel like that's another thing. Like, just such a bonus and plus when you have like a good group of solid friends you can like create content with.
100%.
You're all
that's
just
how he started. He was doing that. Yeah.
How did you guys meet, actually?
It's so funny. He's actually from Florida, Central Florida. Yeah.
And you guys met here.
Yeah. And he went to FSU too, but 6 years apart. And then we had a mutual friend who, when I got a job here, when I first like moved here, and he went to FSU. So that was how we were like getting along.
Got it.
But also we were like, we hate each other. Like, we're not attracted to each other. We're like brother, sister. Where it's like everyone's attracted to Rob. Right. I was like the only one. I was like, I'm not attracted to you. He's like, I'm not attracted to you. And I was like, amazing, great, we're friends.
We're friends. Yeah.
But he would always try to hook me up with his friends. He's like, Sarah, I got a great guy for you.
I love it.
And then they would turn out to be crazy. And I was like, Rob, I'm not meeting any of your Robert. I'm not meeting Robert. I'm done. I'm done, Robert. And so he introduced me to Marco, but he knew, like, he was trying to hook us up, but he
Right.
tried to make it a business transaction. He was like, hey, if you ever need new headshots, my friend's doing a discount because
No
she's from
way.
Florida.
That's how
Because he's from Florida. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, little
you fall
23.
for
I
it.
was
You're
like,
like,
yeah. He didn't really know either because he just,
Wait,
texted
that's
him.
lit.
He's like, hey, I'm sending you a cute girl for, like, headshots.
Yeah.
I, like,
That
open
is
the door
so-
and he's wearing these flared NSYNC pants. He's like,
No.
hey. And I was like, hey. And then we were, like, laughing the entire time.
Really? Oh my
Yes.
god, that's amazing. And you
But
guys
it was
became friends
super
instantly?
windy outside. No, it was the immediate connection.
Wow.
But it was very sweet. It wasn't.
it
It
was
was it was so fun. We laughed so much. And he was like, "Hey," he's like, "Do you want to hang out tonight?" I was like, "I can't. I'm busy." But really, it wasn't.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
like-
professional.
Yeah.
today, you know.
I love it.
And
I
then
love
we
it.
went on a couple dates, and then at first
How
I
did
was
those
like,
headshots turn out?
So a lot of the photos were like this because of the wind. I was like, "This is the one. This is the one."
This is
Yeah. But I remember I got in
that
the
is
car
awesome.
after.
You know how to.
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah,
that.
And I called my mom. My mom's like, "How are your headshots?" I was like, "I don't know, but I have a huge
You're like,
crush
I'm in
on
love.
it." I'm in love.
You're like, I don't have
I was
headshots. I have a
like,
boyfriend.
exactly. I have a boyfriend. I'm married. And I have a baby. I'm with child, Mom. I'm with child.
She's like,
It's
I thought
great.
you were just getting some headshots.
Exactly. She's like, what did I send
Yeah.
you to? Come back, move back to Florida.
Literally.
So funny.
Does he still take headshot photos of you?
He will take photos. Some of
Yeah.
them are editorial, but
Yeah.
he's kind of stepped away from photography. He'll definitely do it. He's
Yeah.
a great photographer, but
Do you have to update your photos? Like,
I
is
actually-
that still a thing? Like, to have to do that?
dude,
Yeah.
I have not had headshots. I feel like that represent what I look like.
Is that me?
Me? No, but actually what I look like in probably like 6 years. And I just had
Because time
headshots
just
last.
goes by and then you're like,
Yes.
oh, that was 6 years ago. Yeah.
But that's another thing because I was doing voiceover. I was like, oh, kind of, it kept like fleeting away from me. I wasn't
Right.
doing it. It
Right.
wasn't. Also, I think after a while, you're like, it's nervous to do headshots.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
I
like,
always get nervous. I'm like, this is my face.
well, do they
This is
still,
my face.
Are they still like, do different like face
Oh my God,
expressions
when I
for like personalities? So we can
When
see
I
that
first
you're,
moved
like,
here,
sweet
yeah,
and-
it was like, put my ponytail on the side of my head. It's like, I'm never
Then you
going to
start
fucking wear my hair like that,
you start
ever.
posing like hella
Yeah.
like,
I was like,
Like,
look at me,
no one
I'm from the
wants
80s now. It's like, no.
no, you're not.
Yeah,
They're
but
also-
I was like, you know what? I need to do headshots regardless because one, what if you want to update your
Yeah.
LinkedIn? What if you want to update your YouTube, your Gmail photo?
Yeah.
It's just good to have a picture
Yeah.
that looks like you.
Yeah,
That's not an Instagram selfie.
exactly. It's mhm.
Have some professional
That's, you
photos.
definitely use the Instagram as like, like as insight to like what you look like and like
100%.
what could be. But I feel like at the end of the day when you're like applying,
But I feel like a
submitting-
headshot is a very
headshot is-
raw photo. It's
Yeah.
not. I mean, I know people will use Photoshop and like kind of filter,
Oh,
but for
really?
meaning in the sense of like enhance some of the colors.
Oh, okay.
But for the most part, that is you. That is what
That's
your
what I'm saying.
face
So, like,
looks
that's-
like.
I'm like,
Yes.
you want a Photoshop because when you show up and it's like
Mhm.
not you, they're like,
Yeah.
huh?
But I actually just did headshots last week through a friend that I work with
Yeah.
and her roommate, and he's getting back into doing headshots
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
And he was amazing. We had so much fun.
Nice.
I felt so comfortable because
Yeah.
that was what
Do
I
you
told
come
him.
to like the photographer and you're like, I need headshots, and then they kind of like try to give you like oh, pose like this or that, or do you just
I
go to
kind
like
of
this is
I kind of just went into it. I was like, this is
Okay.
what I'm wearing, and I just moved a lot. And
okay, yeah,
and he made me feel comfortable, and I just knew. Now it's weird as you get older too.
Yeah.
Like you're more comfortable with certain sides of yourself because you're
Yeah.
like, that's me.
That's
I felt like my
That's me.
left
I
side,
love it.
that's me. I felt like my left side is like my Jew side. I always say I definitely look more Jewish on my left side.
what about your
And
right side?
my right side, I don't, I feel like I look a little more American
Yeah,
or
you're like,
something.
okay.
I'm like, yeah. And so
That's
I feel
awesome.
like I was always not embracing a certain side,
Yeah.
where now it's my favorite side. That
Yeah.
sounds so weird. What
My
side's your
favorite side.
favorite,
I kind of get that too. Like, I feel like sometimes I like the side with like the nose ring.
Yeah.
Is, like, my side.
Yeah. You have like you know what
yeah,
I mean?
Yeah, you do.
And so I
like
felt
when you
like,
take selfies,
Yeah.
you do have a side. Like,
or I also feel like with Instagram, like, people having their noses done
Yeah.
or just whatever. And like
Yeah.
people to do whatever you want
Right.
that makes you feel beautiful.
right.
But I felt like I was just embracing who I am and how I
Yeah.
look and just
Which
loving
is
my
great.
features,
Yeah.
and I just felt so comfortable. And
Yeah.
honestly, they were my favorite photos that I've ever taken.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
that's
wow.
amazing though, because I feel like nowadays, like with all the filters going on, like it must be a little, challenging taking like set cards and like headshots.
Especially all you have to do is swipe a couple things.
Right.
And
You're like, why don't
you
I
look completely
like,
different.
Right. Yeah.
It can fuck with your brain. I try not to use the filters.
Yeah.
But I feel like taking those headshots.
Yeah.
What, you know,
it's like a
because obviously I want to
like,
get and I want to get into film again,
right?
And just like have my photos of what I look like as a human.
So like every like year or like 6 months, do you have to like retake photos?
No,
or, like,
I feel like I'm gonna look like that for probably like 3 years.
Okay,
I hope. Because
like
I was like, you look cute in
my
that
photo. Like is me with my long hair before I cut it. So I'm like, that shit's for sure like 2.5 years old. Like,
I mean, hair is not like. If it's like not
right,
it depends. It depends on how long.
Yeah.
You know, but I felt like my face looked different.
Really?
Yes, 100%. Like 5 years ago, I was like, I didn't even know where my eyebrows were. I was like, where are your eyebrows?
Yeah.
Where are your eyebrows? They don't exist. They don't exist.
I'm so mad I didn't learn how to fill in my eyebrows until after I graduated.
I'm so mad that I tweezed off my eyebrows like a 90s baby.
Normal. Yeah, like
that was like in 2000. That was the thing. It was just like a thin line. It's like. Why now everyone's embracing their natural hairs and stuff? I'm like, why couldn't I have been born now, understanding and just keeping my bushy eyebrows? You know, I had them. I know I did.
I don't even know if I had them because I fucking tweezed them all, so I can't even remember. Like they're gone.
We have good eyebrows. We're fine. They're fine.
They're
like visible. They're visible.
You know.
Yeah, but I definitely looked completely different. I looked like a 12-year-old child. I felt like in my photos, I was like, I don't even know who that is.
I'm a child.
And I was like, I'm a child. And my hair was like bleach blonde, and then like I had a root coming. I was like, I don't even know. I don't even know. I was like, I don't even know who that person is. I don't recognize you. But now I have pictures that I feel like accurately depict who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of them. I was like, great. Yeah.
No, that's I feel like once you have like a trusted photographer or friend that's the key. Because like it's awkward with certain people who take photos.
Yes.
Like, it's the vibe they give off too. Like
100%.
Like I feel like with people, if they take your photos and they don't like react or say, like they're just like quiet and you're like, are these good?
We were kind of talking about that too because at one point we were laughing and then it went quiet and I was like, tell me a joke, you know. But I was I was just taking him on, but he had told me that one time he was taking photos and the person didn't talk at all and he was like, that's so awkward. That is so awkward. Or it could not be awkward and they could just really be getting the shots. Honestly, and you could enjoy that. I think it's their energy.
I would be like, can we play music? I feel like that would.
Ooh, that's really good. I know a lot of people. That's great. I think a lot of people do that for editorial stuff. I think helps.
Yeah, because I feel like if I was like, then I can move and I'd be like,
to the beat.
You play Britney Spears.
Yeah, 100%. But exactly, full circle, and we're back to Britney, which is honestly the whole reason we're here.
She's freed. Yeah, she's freed. Did you watch your documentary?
I watched it. Yes,
of course.
Well, oh my God. What? Sorry, this just made me think of this. Oh my God. This is so crazy. I'm going to sound so crazy. I had a dream about Britney Spears last night. I'm not even making this up. At 4 a.m., I woke up and I was like, Marco, because I had to tell him this dream because I was scared that I was going to forget. But
do you have a dream journal? Write that shit down.
No, I should bring it. Okay. Yeah, I gotta start writing that.
Dreams are great movie ideas.
Yeah.
And script ideas.
This isn't a great movie idea. This is actually, it's sad. It's sad.
Okay, let me hear
Kind of. Obviously, you know, Britney's my girl. Britney's number one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I told him this morning because I was like, don't you forget, Sarah. Don't you forget. He didn't wake up. So I had this dream that I got Britney Spears concert tickets, right? Yeah. And this is like the stage. And for some reason, there's seats like just right there.
Yeah.
Doesn't even make sense, but it made sense in the dream. I was like, these are my seats.
These are my seats
and I'm sitting here.
No one around.
Nobody around. Exactly. And there was a little spiral staircase coming down and she happened to, in her opening number, be going down that staircase.
Wow.
And I was like, it's me. This is our moment. Awesome. Right? And have you ever seen the movie Rockstar?
Yes.
I'm obsessed with that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. It's a great movie. So you know in the beginning when he first gets the role and he's singing and he fucking crashes on the staircase and he falls and he's like trying to get back up and he's bleeding, right? Brittany, it's because I was talking about Rockstar last night. So this is just all my brain thoughts coming into one little dream world. And she tripped and she literally falls and I went to touch her and she was like, don't touch me. And I was like, Brittany, no. And then I woke up and I remember being like, Brittany was so mean to me.
Brittany was mad at me.
Brittany was mad at me. And I feel like she thought I pushed her or something. I would never do that. But isn't that so funny?
That's crazy. That's so crazy that you had a dream about it and that we were like talking
I know.
about
It's because I was talking about the movie Rockstar yesterday.
that's fun. And then
And
that
then
makes
obviously I'm
sense.
always thinking about Britney. So it just
I mean,
kind
how
of
could
just
you not,
went.
right?
Yeah. Isn't that insane?
That, no,
She's
it's not saying it's great.
Yeah.
It's a
But
very creative
I
mind.
honestly feel like I met Britney Spears because
The dream felt
the
so vivid
dream
and
was
real.
so vivid
That
and
shit
real
has
that
happened to me,
it
where you're
was
like,
so real.
Was it real? Like,
Yeah.
did that happen?
She was a little mad, but I would be mad too if I
Just a little
fucking
mad.
fell.
Yeah, in front,
In
of,
front of everybody. I would need a moment, and I think I came off a little too strong.
Yeah.
And I also had my phone.
Oh, you were filming?
Yeah, I was like, Britney! Yeah.
So, are you working on anything now that maybe we could see in the future?
Well, I guess like
Well,
YouTube
so-
or Instagram, like anything, like where
On my
people can
You-
follow you. And
Yeah,
watch
you
your
can follow me on
stuff.
my YouTube, Sarah Kathleen Rosen.
Okay.
My Instagram is Sarah Squarepants, SAR Squarepants. Let's see. Well, I was telling you that we do a web series for my
Yes.
dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we basically take. I know this. It's like, what do you mean you do a web series for your dog?
Check it out.
So,
you
yeah,
know what you mean.
exactly. It's on his page, Professor Herbert.
So
We basically, after last year of doing our web series together, we're like, all right, what's next?
Right.
Web series for the dog.
For the
time
dog,
to
of
time to
course,
move forward.
for the
Phase
baby.
2, and we just think he's like any mother. He's the funniest
my
son
God,
I've
what
ever
if
had.
you literally made him into like a Hollywood animal star? You know, like
I need
a
to
dog
show
that's
you.
famous.
I need
like,
to show you these videos. So
I would
basically,
love to
what
see
we
it.
do is we dub. That's what's funny about this.
That's
Full
amazing.
circle
Wait,
again.
that's a
Full circle again.
circle.
So we put him in blockbuster movie scenes,
Yeah.
like popular ones. For instance, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You know, and they're
Oh
like
my God.
Bueller, and he's the teacher. And then we have like the whole classroom, and it's the whole
Wait, can I
soundtrack.
bring Prince and we make a little video with
Yes.
him? That would actually be
2
fucking
dogs, as long as Herbie doesn't like
hump
bite-
him. I'm just kidding.
hump him,
And,
bite
like,
his
Prince
ass.
Prince might hump him back.
Perfect. It's gonna
So,
be the duo.
They'll be besties.
Yeah, we've done that. We've done the Jurassic Park scene, the first one, where they're like, shoot her.
I think I
And
actually
Herbie.
saw that. That was
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
really
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
That one was really funny.
So we're probably gonna do some more videos for him, and then I don't know what's up.
I mean,
Something good though.
if you hear
Something
her
good.
voice, which you might, it's
Something
her.
Good. It's
Yeah.
me. It's me.
It's her.
It's me. This has been so fun.
Thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you so much
and I'm
for
excited
having
to have
me.
you back.
Bye, guys.
Bye.